Okay, like I said, we have young but talented Belta Anjaga, host of an online TV show known as Belle Bae Show. She is making a stop by on Africa Radio today, and of course African Cocktail, to tell us about this great initiative which is making great strides. Let's get into her garden and discover what this young Cameroonian is made of. Okay, just right ahead, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be moving to Minnesota to meet our next guest in the station of African Cocktail. But before we receive Belta Anjaga, listen to this.
Good morning, people, and welcome to Straight Talk with Belle. This is a forum for us to talk about the things that daily affect us in our lives, whatever it is. Just give Belle a shout out, and I hope we do have fun as we express ourselves in here and try to understand how to shape our futures, how to change us.
And I know that you love me too. And we know that this love was meant to be forever. This is heaven's made. Yes, girl. See, they can say what I want, no say. Say they can't even do what they want, no do. But you and I are meant to be forever. Till death do us by. Some people think I'm foolish, loving you, my baby. Even my friends also think that I am crazy. Could not understand that the kind of love would...
Hello, Straight Talkers. Welcome to yet another episode with Belle. I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. I mean, if it's sunny in Minnesota, it's gonna be sunny everywhere. I just have a quick message to drop by everyone today, and I hope you like it. Well,
okay, definitely we like that, and that is the Belle Bae Show, whose host we shall be receiving in a couple of seconds in this 56th episode of African Cocktail. Okay, on Africa Radio. Let's go to Minnesota and find out if Belta Anjaga is already with us this morning. And we also have Crystal Beauty in Boston, Massachusetts, who will be running this conversation with me. Belle, are you there? Good morning. Good morning, Belle. Okay, we're definitely going to come back to her. We have some difficulties getting to Boston. We'll be right back with you. Okay, we have indications that Belta Anjaga of the Belle Bae Show is already with us. She's talking from Minnesota this morning. Let's know if you are there, Belta. Good morning and welcome to African Cocktail.
Good morning, Ernest. Thank you. I'm here.
Okay, Crystal Beauty is in Boston. Crystal, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so like I said, the Belle Bae Show is an up-and-coming online TV show that is already gathering a lot of impact and, of course, viewers and fans. We're going to know much about that when we would have rounded off this conversation with the host of that show, Belta Anjaga, whom we are welcoming in this edition of African Cocktail. So, Belta, first things first, tell us briefly how the Belle Bae Show is doing.
So far, the Belle Bae Show is doing really great. It's getting a lot of good feedback. So I'm pretty excited.
She's pretty excited.
So tell us, Belle, this show is relatively new, but it has been getting a lot of attention. So can you tell us when precisely you started doing it?
This show is broadly made out of videos that I had recorded over time and just put on hold. So one of my friends ran into them on my Google Share, and he decided to start posting them. So he started posting not too long ago, a couple of months ago actually, like 7 months. But those are all videos that I had recorded maybe a year before, 2 years before.
Right. Belle, I can always be caught watching online TV shows, but I must say that yours is unique. Could you just explain the concept of the Belle Bae show and tell us what motivated you to conceive it?
The Belle Bae show is mostly about the things that I see around me, things that happen around us as young people growing up, and it's mostly about how to inspire young people and how to encourage, especially our young Africans who have come into America, Britain, Canada, wherever they are, trying to seize those opportunities that are out there. That's the main backbone of the Belle Bae show.
So how regular do you produce this show?
We started out at a video in 2 weeks, but right now we are at putting up one video a month, just because all my taped videos are running out. So until I start reproducing, we're going to be doing one a month.
Once a month. That's good. So one of the strong points of the Belle Bae show is its ability, or the ability of the host to sustain a well-organized and coordinated monologue. Belle, tell us, where is this skill coming from?
I grew up in a little community in Cameroon, and growing up there, I was the kid who was always referred to as, the kid who's older than her age, who likes hanging out with older people. I always had the ability to have, conversations, mature conversations with people who were way above my age or my class, and I guess it's just kind of a thing that's in me. Communication is my strong suit, and sustaining or starting a conversation has really never been a problem for me.
Right.
And I guess that feeds into the Belle Bae show, and I'm glad everyone recognizes and appreciates that.
Okay. So I was actually going through some of the episodes you've already put online, and I was wondering if you could shine some more light on some of them. Okay? So the episodes would be the one that you talked about, the DV lottery. So what brought about the American DV lottery winners episode?
That came from the fact that most of us Africans, when most of us come here through the American DV lottery. It's like a wonderful opportunity to go start again in another land, not having to go there illegally, not having to, go there and have to sneak around. It's literally, like a one-way visa to go start a new life. But so many people misuse that. When you get that, you suddenly feel like all your problems are solved. It's just, you're supposed to, when you get that, feel like, I have a chance to solve my problems. But so many people get that and feel like, oh, my problem's already solved. So looking at that, with my own experience that I had when I came here and what I see everyone else go through, I thought maybe putting that out there, will help those who won for maybe this season, for them to understand that, you've just gotten a visa to make your life better. You've not gotten, a visa to a better life until you make it. So that's where that came first.
Just like Crystal Belta, I've been watching keenly, and this one has also caught my attention. Living with a spouse. What are you telling us in that episode?
On the episode of Living with a Spouse, that's coming from, for most of you who are here, I'm sure you've realized this trend where before, a lady gets married, before a young girl winds up married, they have lived with so many people in the past. I went to my sociology class, right before I put up that episode, and the teacher was talking about that, and they said people living together, there's actually getting to be a larger population of, two consenting adults living together now than there is actual married people. So it's kind of like an excuse. You like someone, you want to go stay with them, but you don't want to do the right thing. You don't want to get married because you will take it as an opportunity to study each other before you get married, and that's been happening a lot lately, and I see so many people get hurt from that. I mean, of course, there is the
right.
population that has it good from that, which is usually the population that ends up married, but it's a very lesser part of that population that winds up married. So thinking about that, and looking at the fact that this is America, and here things are hard. Sometimes you need to lean on someone. So it's justifiable that people who are in love at the moment want to do that. But, as I said on that episode, how about, come together with that person and let it be like, not like we are married, so you start making babies from a relationship that's not really recognized, and soon one person is really stranded. How about come together, as two friends and raise some money and maybe split the rent and just be like roommates until you do the right thing and decide, you know what, we should go get married before you start making kids from a union that, has not really been united. That's where that's at.
Right.
No, that's how it's generated.
That's interesting. So in one of the editions, you are asking your audience if they are stressed. So what makes this a salient topic?
That, I think, was one of the first videos that I actually put out, and that did get a lot of attention, and I got a lot of feedback from that. But are you stressed, the topic itself, I was putting it from my point of view. At that time, I was really going through a lot. And as you all know, this country can throw a lot on your plate sometimes. It's, you wake up one morning and you're stepping out the door, you run into the bills, you run into, maybe you have a flat tire, maybe there's maybe yelling in the next apartment. It's a lot. So you're getting out one morning, you can't just, wake up and have what you planned. So every day you have to constantly be making changes. And in America, there's it's very normal for people to go seek therapy for this kind of stress. Especially for those of us Africans who move over to America, we do not think yet that we can go seek this kind of counsel and not end up being judged by our peers or by our fellow Africans as maybe crazy or something. So I use stress. It was really, from my point of view, a really pressing issue at the time. Like, some of us are so stressed, we don't understand what we're doing. So we just keep doing, we don't think. Sometimes we end up doing the very wrong things because we are so stressed. We can't think straight and we can't complain because of our culture. So I'm trying to, let it out there that it's okay to be stressed. We all are stressed. There's a problem shared, there's a problem half solved. If you're stressed, if you don't want to see a therapist, it's fine. Call up someone, talk to someone, explain to someone how you're exactly feeling. It's hard to relate with people back home sometimes because they expect a lot from you. And calling to tell them that you're stressed just, kind of belittles you, we think. It's hard to talk to the people here, too, because they're looking at you like, you should have gone ahead of this a long time ago. But if you didn't get the proper transition, you don't get to, be able to deal with that stress fast enough.
Right.
If you're in that situation and you've just come to America and you're stressed, you can always, give one of us a call. Tell us what's going on. It's not going to be, a show thing or whatever. We can talk to you because we've been through this, because we're still going through this, because we're all stressed.
Belle, I couldn't help laughing when you mentioned that this country is very good at inflicting stress on the people who live in it. You and I understand. But I understand you're a very young person and would naturally expect to have the youths as your audience. But apparently, the topics you treat cut across and even seriously to the extent that adults are quite involved. Adults can actually identify with the topics you treat. Could you explain this? So young yet so mature on the mind.
It's funny you mentioned that because, 2 days ago I'm sitting home here and my aunt in D.C., she calls me up and she's telling me, oh, we are all gathered here watching your show. And I'm asking her, you and who? I'm thinking she's going to be like me and your little cousin. She's like, no, we had a meeting over here, and one of my friends just told us about the stress topic that we were just talking about.
Right.
And, I put it on, and everyone was so excited. Like, where did that come from? I didn't know you had that when you were over here. It's, like I mentioned from the start, basically I have been the kind of person who relates a lot with people of the older age, and I relate with babies the same way. It's like, while I think of what's happening to you right now, and, if I'm trying to give you advice, I think of where you're coming from.
Right.
I think of the people that what you're going through is going to affect. So I put all those little pieces together so that, when I'm giving the advice, it's not coming from me. It's coming from, us at that time. It's coming from what you've told me. And, it's, it has to affect everyone, especially with the African culture, like I would say again. It's very, sometimes we have to affect our elders in order to be affected.
Sure.
Wow. So what has been the feedback from viewers so far?
So far, I have gotten both good and bad feedback. One of my good friends actually, he just called me up the other day and he was telling me how, you know what, you should get a camera person and you should get this laid out properly. You have a good message, but sometimes you just get distracted by the fact that it's just you and all that. And I have gotten a lot of tremendous feedback too. You know, like my aunt calling me from D.C. to tell me how they all got it and watching my show. That to me is exciting. You know, it's just expected. There is wonderful, you know, you're doing really great. We appreciate your message, and there is maybe you should add a little bit of this to that. You know, like maybe you should take this out, maybe you should put this in, and I appreciate that. That's what, you know, I'm here for. If I'm going to be able to help people, they're going to have to help me help them. So it's exactly as expected.
I understand you can't run a big project like this without partners. Do you have some already? If not, are you looking forward to that?
I am looking forward to getting partners. Right now I don't have, you know, partners here because, like I mentioned, mostly we've been putting up, like, videos that I made because I like just making videos. And I never really, you know, thought that this was the time, you know, for me to, I know that I always wanted to have a talk show, but I never realized that this is the time for me to do that because I always thought, you know, maybe I'm not mature enough. Maybe I need to learn a little bit more. Maybe I need to do this. But, you know, from the feedback I have been getting, it feels like I'm ready. It feels like the best way to get into it is to be in it. So right now I'm actually looking for partners, you know, to start up with.
Right.
Okay. As a talk show host myself, there's certain challenges that I usually face. So I was just wondering, what kind of challenges do you face and how do you manage them?
The challenges I face right now is mostly, you know, just getting my message out to the right people. Say, for instance, the American TV lottery winners. How many people in Africa actually have a strong enough, you know, internet to be able to access that message and watch it? And that's who this message is really intended for, you know, to prepare the minds of those who just got the TV lottery, for them to come over here prepared. But how many of them are going to see it? So it's left for us to see it, you know, and then spread the message. Other challenges that I face is like, you know, maybe random people jumping in front of me and going, you know, how can I do that? How can I become like you? Well, sometimes, you know, that's a little weird. That takes you a little unaware because it's like, oh, wait, you know, you don't have to want to become me. You know, how can you should ask me what you can do to improve on the person that you are, you know, because I feel everybody is amazing as they are. You don't have to, you know, look at what whoever's doing and, you know, go, how can I become you or how can I become like you? Just strive to become a better you, you know, because you is the only person that you can really ever be unless you want to be a second-hand version of someone else. And I also face challenges like, you know, people, I don't know, randomly sending you this random, really long messages because they can access your stuff on the internet and now they can connect to you and they can, you know, easily send you random stuff. But I'm dealing with that, you know. It's easy to block the people who are just stalking and really concentrate on the people who actually are concerned about the message.
Sure.
And, you know, it hasn't gone to that point yet where I'm facing all the fans and all that. But, yeah, we're building up to that.
Okay, Belta, we are about to run off this conversation. Briefly, just tell me, when next should we expect the next episode?
The next episode should be out by next month.
All right, next month.
I'm getting ready to go to school, yeah.
Rendezvous taken.
I just jotted that on my notebook. So, for these potential partners, you mentioned earlier that you're looking for potential partners, right? So for those people who want to become potential partners, or for people who are dealing with stress or dealing with whatever it is they're dealing with, and they want to reach out to you, how can we reach out to you?
You can reach out to me through my email. I'm sure Ernest is going to be able to put that on his website for people to see right after this. You could reach me through my email. You could find me, Belle Bae, on Facebook. You could call me. You know, my phone number is 612-702-9502. You could call me up anytime, and we could have a talk about that.
Definitely, people are going to reach out to you because you have so much to offer. Belta, thank you so much for stopping by and talking about the Belle Bae Show. We wish you all the best and do have a fantastic rest of the day out there.
Thank you, Ernest and Crystal. I really appreciate this.
Crystal,
All the listeners and viewers out there.
Crystal is not going away yet. Crystal, one question before we run off this conversation. How do you find this show, which is, coming up strongly? You are also a host of an online TV show. When you look at what Belle is doing, what can you say, Crystal?
I was very impressed, actually. I remember you are the one who connected me with her, and I was like, this is a girl with my age. And when I watched her videos, I actually saw a lot of similarity with when I started, because I started my own show 3 years ago. And I was very impressed. The topics are very mature. They're very educative.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I was very impressed, and I had to call her and tell her that.
Crystal, thank you so much. I'll have you again shortly, this time for the meeting edition of African Tele Review. So stay with me and do have a fantastic time over there as we keep riding on with the 56th episode of African Cocktail, coming to you from Africa Radio with Ernest Kanjo. Just right ahead, we shall be moving to South Africa to meet our man Solomon Atta with South Connect. We also have Titus Banyo, who is on standby in Antwerp, Belgium, and he will be giving us updates. Then we still have lots and lots of guests coming up in this edition of the show. Joy Dominion will be talking from Maryland. Then we have Hansel Ngwane, who will be speaking from Boya, southwest region of Cameroon. And of course, lots and lots of good music and Perez Igwe is a Nollywood movie actor who will also be joining us from Houston, Texas. So, lots and lots of interesting things in this 56th episode of African Cocktail. But for now, let's water down what Belle has been saying with some good music. This one is titled Patu, Prince Eyango.